everybody, this is Black here, and welcome back to another Doctor Who video, in which today I'm going to be taking you through my 1970s Doctor Who collection. This is a sequel video to the 60 collection video that I did back in January, and I would also be doing 80s and modern sequels to the 60 one as well, even to this video if you will. But without further ado, let us begin with my 1970s Doctor Who collection with the DVDs. We have the slipcover edition of Spearhead from Space from 2007, if I'm correct. Blu-ray of Spearhead from Space. 2 DVD copies of the Silurians, simply because I bought one individually and then I bought the box set. Ambassadors of Death. The Magnificent Inferno, which is signed by John Levine. The Mind of Evil. Claws of Axos, The Daemons, which is again signed by John Levine. Right there. Carnival of Monsters. Curse of Peladon. Sea Devils. Frontier in Space. Fantastic John Pertwee story, that. Planets of the Daleks, what some people like to nickname the Trash Compactor story. The Green Death, the story in which they fought against condoms, because that is actually how the maggots were made, believe it or not. Well, apparently. The Time Warrior, the Monster of Peladon, Planets of the Spiders, ending off John Pertwee, and for now for Tom Baker we have Robots. The Ark in Space, the Sontaran Experiment, Genesis of the Daleks, the very first classic Doctor Who DVD I ever got, and one of the very first classic Doctor Who stories I ever watched, and in turn one of the very first Doctor Who stories I watched, period. Revenge of the Cybermen with Kevin Stoney on the cover looking like, what the fuck am I doing here? I became this from Mavic Chen, what's happening to my acting career, sort of look on his face. Then we have Planet of Evil, Pyramids of Mars, a fan favourite with a Illuminati cover. Brain of Morbius, which is a bit overrated. I did a commentary with this, with Doctor Forever, back on Halloween last year. And it was pretty crap, just padding and more padding, and my god, the ending, that fucking ending. The Seeds of Doom, The Deadly Assassin with more Illuminati symbolism, The Robots of Death, which is one of my favourite Tom Baker stories. Practically my favourite Tom Baker story now, The Talons of Wayne Chiang, Horror of Fang Rock, The Invasion of Time, least favourite 4th Doctor story, one of my least favourite Doctor Who stories of all time. Abysmal story, absolutely abysmal. First 4 episodes are good, or well, are pretty bad on their own. Some interesting ideas to them, but when the Sontarans get introduced, I practically want to kill myself. Final 2 episodes are unnecessary, probably the worst padding in Doctor Who history, and the final 2 episodes are probably the most embarrassing episodes in Doctor Who history. I mean, even the characters on the cover, apart from the Sontaran, sort of look sort of disgraced at the fact that 5 and 6 are so awful. Tom Baker's just looking like, oh fucker, what happens at episodes 5 and 6? And pretty much the same with the other characters on the right. Moving on to the rather crappy Key to Time season. I know a lot of people like the Key to Time season, but my god, I find it a bit overrated. Ribos Operation, mediocre story. Pirate Planet, terrible story. Stones of Blood, terrible story. Some good concepts to it though. The brilliant androids of Tara. The abysmal Power of Kroll. I hate that story. And then we have the Great Armageddon Factor. Yeah, Androids of Tara and Armageddon Facts are the only ones I like out of season 15, I think. Key to Time. Very underwhelming series. Probably one of the worst Doctor Who series ever made, in my opinion. Androids of Tara and Armageddon Facts are good, and Rivals Operation is mediocre, but Pirate Planet, Stones of Blood and Power of Kroll, oh, I hate those stories so much. I think probably my least favourite would either have to be Pirate Planet or Power of Kroll, because Stones of Blood did have some good concepts to it. Destiny of the Daleks, signed by David Goodison. Destiny of the Daleks, just decided to get it signed at Belfast Comic Con because I wanted more signed DVDs in my collection, even though it isn't the best Doctor Who story in the world to get signed. Then we have what is a really good Doctor Who story to get signed, which I haven't got signed yet, but hopefully I will in the future. City of Death. Actually, when talking about Talons of Wayne Chiang earlier, I completely forgot about this story for some reason. I think this is my favourite Tom Baker story, closely followed by Talons. Just an absolutely incredible story, and I'm wanting to review that. Sort of an odd little segue into the world of audios now. We have the Davros collection. Now what this is a limited edition 8-disc DVD and audio box set, limited to 10,000 copies. I got number 436, and what this contains every single classic series Davros story: Genesis, Destiny, Resurrection, Revelation, Remembrance, and then it has Big Finish audio dramas in it: Davros, The Juggernauts, Terra Firma, the complete Davros series, and then the Davros mission. And then this also contains a bonus documentary exclusive to this box set, which is called Davros Connections. Very interesting item to have in my collection. I know this item is very, very rare, so when I saw it for 38 quid in CX, I could not pass up the opportunity of getting it, because I think that's the cheapest I've ever seen this box set, to be honest, and I think retail it must have been about 50 probably. But yeah, there is that, all my Book 2 DVDs for 1970s, and quite an interesting little segue into the world of audios, which we're going into right on to the audio section of this collection video now, with various Doctor Who audios that I have, 70s Doctor Who. As you can see, it is freaking tiny, almost tiny as Stephen Moffat's. Anyways, starting off, we have the sort of audiobook exclusive Demon Quest audio adventures, with which came as this little audiobook series. There's also Hornet's Nest and another one. I could be wrong about the name of the Hornets one, but there was that, and the other one's called Serpent's Crest, I believe. So there we go. This one is the Relics of Time, the Demon of Paris, a Shard of Ice, Starfall, and Sepulture. Don't know terrible a lot about these audios, and I haven't heard them in quite a while. But yeah, there is that, and I believe all of the covers are sort of based off of famous artists, or in the style of sort of famous artists, sort of like what Titan Comics did recently with those sort of music style covers with some really interesting sort of Titan Comics covers, such as that Cyberman Kraftwerk one there was. But anyways, we have this, and you're probably thinking, what the hell is this? What these are, sort of opening up the case, are two Doctor Who newspaper giveaway CDs. They were just stuck in the cardboard sleeve, so I decided to take them out of the cardboard sleeve and put them in this case. We have Slip Back on the left hand side here, and then we have Exploration Earth on this side here. As you can see, these are just completely clear cases. So yeah, Slip Back is amazing, and I don't know anything about Exploration personally, so there we go. Moving on to sort of audiobooks and stuff now, we have Auton Invasion, Curse of Peladon, Dinosaur Invasion, and that's all I have for the audiobooks, apart from this Tom Baker, or this 4th Doctor audiobook, The Mask of Mandragora, in this massive weird, almost sort of library-like case, which is not wanting to be clutched in my hands. So yeah, there is that. Then we have Who and Me, which is a memoir of Barry Letts, the Doctor Who producer from 1969 to 1974. If you can track this down, I'd highly recommend it. Very interesting sort of Doctor Who audio. Very breezy, as I do remember it just being really enjoyable and it just simply flying by. So if you can track this down, I don't know how rare it is and the CD's fallen out again. No, it hasn't. I highly recommend this if you're a 70s and 60s Doctor Who fan, or mainly 70s Doctor Who fan, as this sort of goes into sort of detail about his work on his work in Doctor Who. But yeah, there is that. Would recommend that if you're a 70s fan. The other thing I'd recommend if you're a 70s fan, particularly a John Pertwee fan, the Big Finish Audio, the Mega, out of their Lost Story range. Absolutely incredible Big Finish Audio this is. So yeah, there is that. Don't really have a lot to say on that. And then to end it all off, we have Genesis of the Daleks on vinyl, which is the Record Store Day 2016 exclusive blue coloured vinyl issued by Demon Records. Ooh. And just to show you in a little bit more detail, this is the Genesis of the Daleks vinyl. Unlike the sort of 1960s era one that I have, which is the two Dalek movie soundtracks reissued on vinyl from last year, this one is actually open, so I can actually show you the colour of the vinyl. As you can see, it's sort of replicated in this sort of BBC Records and Tapes sort of sleeve. So yeah, I am planning to keep my Dalek one factory sealed, as that is quite a big collector's item, but as this one is sealed, I can actually show you the vinyl, which is this dark blue cooler. And now we're moving on to the extensive world of books, or the extensive world of my collection, which is the Doctor Who books in this collection video. And before you guys scream at the comments, yes, I do realise this is going to be a little out of order. But anyways, let us begin with the annual 1975-78, which is this really weird pink cover, sort of framed pink cover, very sort of odd Doctor Who annual. Look at that face. Just look at that face. What is up with Tom Baker's face on that? Looks like he's taking a shit. Anyways, we have the 1979 annual. We have Complete History, Volume 17, Colony in Space, The Daemons and Day of the Daleks. Volume 22, Robot, the Ark in Space and the Sontaran Experiment. 23, Genesis of the Daleks, Revenge of the Cybermen and Terror of the Zegons. And then we have Who on Earth is Tom Baker, the autobiography of Tom Baker. We have I completely missed a book here. We have Sharda. We have City of Death. We have the Handbook, the 4th Doctor Tom Baker years. Would love to get the 1st and 2nd Doctor ones, but those are quite rare, unfortunately. 1st Doctor one is pretty easy to get, I would say, but 2nd Doctor one is pretty rare. But yeah, there's that. Then we have Inferno for the Target hardback, starting them up. Mind of Evil, Invasion of Time, Stones of Blood, Underworld, The Nightmare of Eden, Horror of Fang Rock, The Robots of Death, Creature from the Pit. And then for paperbacks of the Target novelisations, all of which just fell over, we have The Auton Invasion, The Cave Monsters, The Ambassadors of Death, signed by Derek Martin, The Daemons, Day of the Daleks, Curse of Peladon, The Mutants, The Three Doctors reprint, Carnival of Monsters, The Green Death, The Monster of Peladon, Planet of the Spiders, The Giant Robot, Ark in Space, Pyramids of Mars, The Mask of Mandragora, The Talons of Wang Chiang, Talons of Wang Chiang Virgin reprint, the very last Virgin reprint published on the same day as the Robots of Death Virgin reprint. Image of the Fendao, Robios Operation, Revenge of the Cybermen, The Mask of Mandragora again, The Horns of Nemon, it's just Creature from the Pit, Invisible Enemy, Face of Evil, Armageddon Factor, Underworld, Deadly Assassin, and then we have the Sunmakers. And for other Doctor Who books of 1970s era, we have Last of the Gadarene, The Festival of Death, Corpse Marker, Amorality Tale, The English Way of Death, Harvest of Time, which is a third Doctor novel, Evolution, The Romance of Climb, one of my favourite Doctor Who books of all time, that. System Shock, Dancing, The Code, 2 copies of The Devil Goblins from Neptune, because same with my Cave Monsters or Silurians DVD, I purchased one of these individually and then got the other in a bundle off of eBay. Last Man Running and Science Fiction. Ending off this collection video now with some sort of miscellaneous things, I guess you would call them. Starting off with the Titan books release with the script book of the Daemons, with more Illuminati symbolism on the cover. And now what you see right here, as you can see, are 3 sonic screwdrivers. I managed to salvage these recently along with 3 new series screwdrivers, which I'll probably show when I get around to that video. But these are really odd. Let's have a look here. I think these 2 here have a mixture of new series sounds and classic series sounds. So listen to this. That's a new series sonic screwdriver sound effect, but when you do this, if I can get the system right, I'm pretty sure that's a classic series sound, which is very bizarre, and the same thing applies with this one. So very odd, but then this third one here is just completely classic series sounds, and it doesn't have one of those double press down things like that, which you unlock a separate sound effect like that, because every time I try to do something like that it just plays the sound effect, which is really odd. And it appears to operate in a 2 of the same sound, then another sound and another sound, and loops like that. So there's the 2, and there's the 1. So yeah, it's very odd screwdrivers overall. So yeah, and I'm probably going to get a lot of comments about the way I sort of did that with the screwdrivers. But anyways, moving on. For the 70s autographs that I have not shown yet, we have Richard Franklin on the 3rd Doctor Titan Comics issue 1, which I got hand signed by him at Dimensions 2016. And then we have Ambassadors of Death Target paperback, which is signed by Derek Ware. And then to end it all off, we have this limited edition master figure that my parents got me when we were on holiday in Dublin, I think. I am not quite sure, but somewhere near Dublin. My parents bought me this as a gift, and this is limited edition to 3000. So yeah, quite interesting. 1,400. My number is precisely 1,400 and 3,000, and this is from the sort of Biff Bang Pow sort of exclusives at Comic Con thing. Or this is an action figure done by Biff Bang Pow, and this is one of 2 Comic Con exclusives out of this little series, out of series 2, and yeah, very interesting thing to have in my collection, even though the master inside does appear to be a tad bit camera shy. Leave him alone, guys, Jesus. But yeah, there is my Doctor Who 1970s collection. So like, favorite, comment, subscribe. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Pitch Gold Black, D Matthew.